Yes, studio, where we are bringing you the English coverage of Mars TV Dota League LAN. Still have not figured out how to say that well, but we are well underway of the round robin Dota action, and we're about to hop into Clutch Gamers versus LGD Gaming. And as you can see, we already have a draft underway here, gentlemen. I welcome back, of course, Gods and Korean Barbecue Jack, as we have LGD Gaming 3-0 going against Clutch Gamers 0-3.
Man, I could go for some KBBQ right now. That'd hit the spot pretty well.
Fortunately, I don't think anything is open at 5:54 a.m. It's almost breakfast time, boys.
Breakfast KBBQ, no problem.
Chick-fil-A biscuits, maybe? I don't know.
Throw some straight up bacon right on the Korean barbecue grill.
That sounds good.
And
KBBQ
they already have
breakfast style.
They already have scrambled eggs on the side, right? Like with
Yeah.
the dip of the meat. This has got to happen.
Corn cheese for breakfast sounds good. I'll do that for sure.
There's going to be 24-hour Korean barbecue place. Probably not out where we live, but at least in the LA city, I bet there is.
Oh, without question, for sure.
Hit us up with recommendations, fellow LA denizens who are also awake at 6 in the morning.
All right, we have a draft. It is not as exciting as Korean barbecue. It looks some pretty meta pickups here. A lot of blue pickups here. We got Witch Doctor, Faceless Void as your 1-2 punch coming out from Clutch, LGD, Earthshaker, and Mr. Disruptor.
So Clutch Gamers, I guess just some storylines. I mean, this is a team that really caught fire, right, for that stretch where they won 4 straight qualifiers, but they didn't really perform well at any of the lands that they went to.
Or didn't go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, not there, you know, it's just, you know, that's how it is.
That too, including their kind of hometown Manila Masters. And then they had a very distinctive style at that point. Like, it was very fast-paced. Boombox was always on these kind of roamers, and they had a playmaker, usually I believe it was Armel, just kind of on these, like, you know, Puck, Queen of Pain, just like making plays all over. And then they had like a very aggressive and distinctive style, and it fit them so well for that stretch. And then afterwards, both the style and the results just kind of seemed to disappear for a bit once they got to these big lands.
It seems they've kind of maybe, I think initially what I was hearing from like some people in the team and people around them was there was a certain amount of nerves and stage fright playing on some of those big lands. And then I think it also maybe Dota's a game where you have to be very confident. Like, you can't be uncertain when you make a move. You need a captain that has a clear vision and voice that says, we're going to do this, and it's the right call. And I think once you start, they're a team that kind of once they started losing, they didn't really find a way to get out of that rut, which is kind of where they're still in.
They weren't Clutch, essentially.
They're not true to their name. That is correct, Dakota.
But maybe here at MDL, a new story for Clutch will be told. I like this third pick, a little bit more spicy to the mix here. The Ricky comes out, says, we're looking to get frisky in the laning phase, or, you know, at least get that extra bit of intel. Make some good setups.
Oh. Ricky Witch Doctor seems like there is a bit of lack of damage in the early stages, but make up for that later. Ricky gets some items. Witch Doctor gets some points in Maledict.
It's a future draft problem.
There's a hero that does not give 2 shits about a Ricky.
I'm in the meta still, remember me?
Yeah. You want to hit me? You want to hit people in the back? Okay. Bristle loves that.
That's true, actually.
By all
Bristleback, the direct counter to Ricky.
Yeah.
They did pick it into a Faceless Void, though, which is interesting. Again, we've seen like a lot more Void safe lane. It not only excels in terms of like damage type against a hero that lacks real burst like Bristle, but the time dilation is very annoying to short cooldown heroes as well. So, and then Ricky returned to kind of we saw a lot of Slardar, Sand King, the kind of boombox style roamers that he was doing so well on. So maybe, you know, a step back in that direction here as well. Are we going to see a Necro, though? Another something that we've seen some teams. Oh,
ban Jack.
They banned it themselves.
The program.
Absolutely not going to see a Necro. I'll shut you up right there. They had gotten rid of it along with the AA and a Bat Rider on LGD's side. So Clutch, I don't know, Shadowblade candidates maybe, or Silver Edge candidates rather. Let's get a nice little Legion Commander to throw in the off lane maybe.
They want the Armel Invoker maybe, get that Chrono Sunstrike synergy.
Yeah.
Invoker's a hero that doesn't care too much about Bristle. You cut him around, you chuck EMPs on him. Yeah, you got damage to kill him later on as well. Maybe a hero they need to grab now if they want to get it at all, though, since it's a likely last ban if you don't pick a mid hero. But at the same time, maybe Armel's got a pretty deep hero pool, so not too concerning if he doesn't get his Invoker.
Could they go with the Medusa? There's some synergy there. It's a bit slow, I guess.
Jack,
but
it's 6 in the morning. I don't want to be hearing that talk.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh,
There we go.
nice
Oh,
call.
there-
That's what I
that's
want to
a bit
see. Oh, Insta Bloodseeker.
Oh.
LGD don't care.
Nice. So there's
Blood
the
Rage
Bloodseeker.
Quills.
He's been just increasingly so in SCA, like Fnatic was using this quite a bit. Like some other teams have come up to it. And in China, I think Vici Gaming for the most part used it a bit during the qualifiers. Heroes was played like a good, I think 8 times or something during the qualifiers. We saw it quite a bit, and so it's often played as a mid, like more of a core now. Like it's a good matchup. It's very difficult to really zone or kill most of the time. Has a lot of presence as a ganker. A number of different build paths that you can go with it, whether it's like the Fnatic, the QO style Midas Radiance, or if you see more of like an Aghanims, maybe Sanjin Yashi, like more of a move speed utility, like a kind of ganker build. So there's a lot of possibilities here.
Well, Clutch Gamers, they experienced that Bloodseeker Pudge. I don't know if they were on the receiving end, but they did obviously see it in that SCA qualifier from Fnatic. There's some nasty synergy between these heroes, as they will ban out that Pudge.
And the value of the Earthshaker, I mean, teams have either been banning it or taking it very early on. Or rather, LGD has been taking it very early on, or if it's banned out against them. So this is an offlaner that's risen very quickly to the top of many lists. Like, obviously, with being able to fissure block and kind of ensure that you get lane creeps and experience, or just putting a ton of pressure if the other team wants to zone you out. He's a beefy hero, pardon the, not just because he's the Earthshaker, but he's beefy. He's hard to kill. He's got a lot of HP.
Yep.
Oh, that was
Looks
going
like he'll
for
be
conflict.
support this game, but it's the same concept where you can still secure that offlane by just a fissure block. With the Bristleback more likely being played in the offlane role, but last pick Sand King.
What do you think about the Storm pickup? It's a good Storm game. I feel like he also worries about time dilation, and you got to be careful about Smokescreen. But lately, Storms, I don't think like we saw the debut matchup, teams are picking Storm regardless of what seems to be on the other team, and have been banking more on just I guess, Storm incorporated with their own personal lineup, their own strategy, and their player.
Not an ideal Storm game when you look at time dilation, chrono, smoke, Sand King stun now. I mean, you didn't see the Sand King, but I think maybe he'll make it work. He's got Bloodseeker to run in and set everything up for him. I think that's kind of the beauty of this draft. Not just Bloodseeker, but Bristol. He's got 2 heroes that are going to run in first, and he gets to come in and do his thing.
We'll see. LGD, I just could tell by the way they were drafting, though. They were super confident. They were picking so fast. That just reeks confidence. Reeks Laugandie.
Laugandie.
The sauce. Whatever kind of sauce it is.
Some good hot sauce for this tournament so far.
Yeah, 3-0. Can they keep the streak alive? One team has always got to be that team that almost goes undefeated. Will it be LGD?
It's been a while since I think we've seen a team go undefeated at a LAN event from start to finish. I know
that's why I said almost undefeated.
Yeah,
There's always got a team that almost gets there, then has one loss to Team Red, something like that.
It used to happen occasionally because like ESL would do their like straight up single limb tournaments, so there was less.
I
matches.
can't hear you over the chat wheel. I can't hear you, co-caster. Let's let them get the chat wheel warm up out. No, sorry, please go ahead.
Nope.
Are you done yet? Okay.
Peace, man. Yeah.
Just can't wait till TI main stage. People are trying to like cast games. And it's like screaming throughout the whole stadium nonstop. Yeah.
That sound just makes me smile. I don't know.
It's good text message sound. If you don't already have it on your phone, I would recommend it probably as a good little.
Okay.
Meatball. Your mom's texting. Get off the computer. Meatball.
Do you do that like custom text messages depending who's texting you?
I did for a little bit, but yeah, then I just settled for the old BKB. Uh-oh. Looks like we got first blood potentially.
Someone's going down, right?
Maybe. I don't know. Yao, look at that. He gets a good step back.
Bounty rune.
Grabs
He's
the
got another
bounty.
nuke.
Oh, he's turning around. He's going to get Boombox instead. Oh, the Burrow's there. Yeah, they get Yao. He's going to be the first blood. Boombox is low, but the Thunderstrike will conclude just in time. He makes it away. Rappy steps back. Avoids the potential circle of death and now is trying to limp his way out. But Ame is not going to chase. That means the salve will be there, and Rappy will take his way to the lane. First blood belongs to Clutch.
Yeah. Career snipe mid, no!
Where? Oh no, I cut the back end of it, and it's the Witch Doctor who got it fly solo.
That's like the panic. You hear, like, I yell career snipe mid, and you don't know which side to look at suddenly. You're like, oh, God.
I had a 50-50 chance, and my eyes went to the wrong side first, so yeah, my bad.
That's all right. That's a very SCA thing. They love their career sniping and shenanigans. It's rampant in pub games over there.
I mean, Witch Doctor career sniping? Yeah, that's not one you commonly look out for. It's a funny looking set too, but here we go. First gank, shows up to mid lane, throws out the coconut onto Somnus. Somnus wants to fight on forward, looking to go for Boombox, needs one more right click. Can he get it? Oh, it looks like maybe goes down first. And then the follow-up kill will be there. So he does get the kill, will not be there for the XP. His little lightning spirit will be, but unfortunately he will not. So frisky action already coming out. This is what I was expecting. I have not been able to personally like cast a game of Clutch Gamers, but you know, this is a Clutch Gamers kind of a game if I've ever heard about one.
It looks like it. It looks like it right now.
They're owning 1,500 gold lead.
This is working.
What? 2 minutes in. It's GG, Jack. If this is an NA Dota pub, this Storm Spirit's feeding mid.
Yep.
Couriers are on the ground.
Yep.
He's 0-5 already. He's just like, it's over.
All we're missing is the Peruvian alt chat, but everything else seems to be there.
Yeah, it's a report in Joker, something like that.
Armel holding his own right now. Goes too far forward, though, and you could get blocked out here from the nearby Victoria, who's creeping in now. Here it comes! Boom! Tried to warn him, but now he's going to have to run towards Victoria. But he's not even going to get the chance. One more right clicks there, and it's maybe picking it up, and now we're even 2-2. Bottom lane, more action, though. Look at that. Burrow strike in from Rappy as he gets glimpsed back. It's a glitch in the Matrix, but they'll both end up getting dropped. 3-3, we're back even again.
Oh, top lane meanwhile.
Oh, and the courier responds. Top lane, we get the kill. It's Bristleback getting dropped. Double damage Witch Doctor suddenly at the top lane.
Witch Doctor's going off. He's getting kills. He's got a courier snipe. Level 3 already. This is when you're having a good time as a support when you get these kind of starts. He's got 900 gold. You can buy boots, stick, upgrade that courier, I guess.
Reminds me of one of the SCA qualifier games. The Witch Doctor started like 8-0 and like
that was
right?
Chemo Execration.
Yeah, it's like
they 5v5'd mid level.
Yeah, and he got an ultra kill basically before the creep spawn, right?
Yeah.
It's like one of those like if things are going very smoothly and it's like seems like everywhere you go like something great is happening. You're getting a kill, killing a courier. Feels good. Feels good.
Those games are the dream, just because you know every once in a while the team there's like a 10% chance they're like that game like we'll 5-man smoke at the start down the middle, but to have both teams think that at the same time.
Yeah.
That is really, it's like watching a real train wreck.
This poor Radiant Courier is stuck mid. No one can afford an upgrade.
Oh, 11. He's in trouble. The Sunstrike. Got him. Armel. Back in it.
This is the SCA Witch Doctor. Super aggressive, always maxing Maledict first, looking for kills nonstop. This is the SCA way of playing this hero.
Boombox is discovering that there is no place welcome for a Ricky. Bottom lane, Sentry. He doesn't like it. Goes to mid lane. There's another Sentry. So now he's got to find another place to soak up XP.
Yeah. While Witch Doctor's having the dream game, Ricky's kind of, he's not having a bad game by any means, but he's struggling to find a place to have an impact, which for now is okay.
Yeah, Witch Doctor, he gets this luxury. He just walks in with boots and throws out a coconut or a few right clicks. Oh, almost had the opportunity to maybe go for another courier snipe. Checks out to see if there's a ward in his spot. Will not scout anything.
Once this storm knows he is only level 5.
Yeah, they have that deep ward over there as well, so they're probably going to try to wrap and maybe get him one more time before he gets his ult up.
He's coming back mid again. Can the Invoker set something up?
Well, they have a Radiant scan there that he just walked into, so I don't think so, guys.
That's where you either sit behind him or your Storm needs to fall back to the jungle, but Shaker's, he's in position.
They're ready.
So he's like, dude, you're leeching my XP.
Now this guy, you know, it's going to be a slower journey to level 6, but at least he'll get it safely. Boombox looks like he came back bottom and might head back mid or elsewhere there. Ame is working with the jungle camp. He's got Yao by his side and really no threat in the lane at all. We look to see where Rappy's at. And Rappy Moy's got Tranquil, Stout, a Mango. He's tagging a Shrine. He's got Blink and Q. And he's almost level 5, so I'd say you'd be pretty happy if you're an offlaner.
Yeah, nothing too crazy, but definitely on par for most of his core items. Top lane, Bristle's actually CSing very well despite the 2 deaths. He's got the 2nd highest CS in the game. See what that will amount to, but yeah, he's got levels. He's very dangerous to go on because of that quill spam that will come from behind. Looks like Ricky is kind of content just to leech that XP from the pull. It is good for the courier, yeah.
It's just right over your head. You got to go for it. Okay, it's gone. Well, he gets the bounty at least. Top lane, Chrono rather, on top of 11. The Maldic should help get the finish, but the Star Spirit has rotated over, and he will get some redemption as he finishes off that crazy coconutted Witch Doctor. Now a Fissure there, looking to go for Gabby. Gabby hiding within the trees. He still has the Time Walk. Gets it out now. Is not going to get any health back, but it does find a safety pocket to be able to TP away.
Chuck's just going to rotate bottom with a TP. See if
look at this.
Sets up a kill.
You see Ricky. He walks away.
Bottom lane, they've gone in. Don't know if they can get this kill. If anything, Ame's going to easily turn this one around.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he starts chunking him down real good.
Okay.
Eventually will be forced
Doesn't
back.
get the kill, but did scare him off.
Wow. This game is quite feisty, isn't it?
It's good. We need to cast more of these clutch gamers. We need some NCA Dota.
Oh! Ame.
Oh, the creep helped.
Yes, he
tank
did.
That one there.
Ooh, boy.
Roasted tomato just saved his life.
Bloodseeker's a particularly interesting hero because, I mean, he's kind of strong right now, and like, you know, the Blood Rage doesn't cost mana, but there's also a very all or nothing component to him, which I really enjoy in terms of like, who are you gonna Blood Rage, right? You're gonna Blood Rage a target, and then or you're gonna Blood Rage. Crusade sets up these very tense, like, or kind of trade or go in situations pretty quickly. I like that.
It makes everyone, whoever you use on becomes a glass cannon, where they do big damage.
Fissure smack onto the Ricky here. They're looking to go for the fault. Meanwhile, mid lane, Armel was hit with the Rupture, and it is going to be a 2-man takedown. The floodgates have been open, and LGD have just came through the mid lane to play.
Not bad. The Glimpse Rupture, some decent synergy there. See, Bloodseeker moves bottom. He needs a good
Witch
cast.
Doctor. Oh, he was trying to do some cheeky bounty plays. Ooh, gets a coconut bounce there, but eventually the right click will be in, but the Burrow turnaround could make it worth of it. Oh, I mean, tries to turn and fight, but he gets handled there. Does look like they will lose the Sand King. Rappy gets dropped.
Meanwhile mid.
Meanwhile mid, thanks for the heads up. It's going to be maybe jumping in behind the tower here, looking to go for Armel. Needs a little bit more, rolls on forward, gets hit with a cold snap.
Has a regen.
Does jump back. Oh, that regen is going to get canceled now. Sunstrike, too far to the side. Boombox, though, is on the chase. A Fissure's there to help out. He needs a little bit more mana to be able to get the jump, and there's that regen.
That's a Sunstrike he probably shouldn't miss. He should have waited longer until he knew which way I was running, or I don't know. Gotta land those ones. But still looking okay for clutch gamers here.
Not bad, and they don't seem deterred one bit. They're already potentially right back on the action path, it looks like, as Rappy and Fly Solo have now smoked up. And with the Ricky, they are going to go on a little 3-man gank squad here. They have the Storm nearby, but they better time these stuns out well and just hope that they have the burst potential between Smoke and Coconut and Burrow.
Oh, they got Sunstrike.
Okay, there's the Burrow. There's the Epi. There's the Sunstrike. And they got it. All right, 4 times kill streak. Going to be handed over on top of it.
That is a determined kill right there. That's I don't know. I think that's kind of one of those rotations that could get you punished. Like if maybe is not there, let's say there are other heroes, like that could very easily be turned around on. So, ultimately a nice play from them, but also very risky.
I guess it's a high risk, high reward kind of a play, Jack. Oh, 11 here. Caught between 2, hit with a Maldic.
Is there a Sunstrike? There is.
He's juking back the other direction here, and then jukes back the other direction, only to get hit with a Chrono.
You gotta feed your Invoker those kills. I feel like the last 2 kills Invoker could have lasted
Oh, buddy. A long jump in comes out from Maybe. He's looking to go for Gabby, and it looks like he's got him. Or does he? Oh, no. He does not. The smoke screen's there, and Gabby's going to be able to time walk over the trees and away from trouble, but the Doctor is not. Ame's able to get into the action and help slash him down, but has he gone in too far? Yes, he has.
That's the blood rage Jack talked about.
He was feeling himself after that last kill, and he was just, well, maybe feeling himself a bit too much.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
And goes in like the glass cannon he is, falls over and bursts into 1,000 pieces. 9-10 now. Clutch Gamer's still up and ahead, but
he's got a Mask of Madness build coming in. That is.
Who?
He's going all in on the squishiness here, the Bloodseeker.
Oh, whoa!
I've not seen this build. Not to say I'm saying it's bad. I'm more just like, whoa, he's gonna be squishy. May as well make himself even squishier.
This is just a YOLO build. This
I mean,
is what
where
you like to see.
Where are you even getting the armor from to make up for the armor loss? You're not, I guess.
If you kill them before you get right clicked, you don't need armor.
Oh, okay. I guess that's true.
And it's a lot of magic damage. Like even Void with his bashes, he's not really doing a whole lot of right click. Invoker's probably the heaviest right click really, but he's even using spells. So ultimately, seems okay.
Yeah, who are you, like? So is he blood raging himself in these fights, or do you even blood rage someone like the Bristleback for extra quill power? Oh, they're dishing out some heavy firepower on the top lane. Static Storm committed, but they still can't even get Gabby. Leaps away, no problem at all. Meanwhile, the 1-2 fall from this is Yao. After committing in for the kill of this 2-man gank, he's the one that loses his life instead.
I think for the most part, Ame's just going to blood rage himself. Increase his damage upward from Blood Riot, Rupture, and then run in with it when it's safe. But it's also good to use on the target you're going on, depending on the situation.
Oh, they got maybe? No.
Oh, it's still going to be close. I think they've got him.
Oh, he had to cancel his TP and jump away further.
He needs to dodge Maledicts, and he's failed.
Oh. Nice movement there from Clutch Gamers. Get the upper hand and get back-to-back drops of the Storm Spirit.
Clutch are kind of owning, just playing aggressive Dota.
Yep, I like it.
Level 4 Maledict. This Witch Doctor has definitely been the MVP so far, in my mind.
I agree.
This is signature Clutch. When they're having success, they take the Dire, they make constant rotations into your jungle and find good fights.
Yeah, they're 3 games down. It's like, just go for it. I think they'll quickly realize that this is how they were supposed to be playing the tournament all along. We'll see, though.
Yep.
We'll see, though. But
Yeah, one Southeast Asian coach said that their team was, just for a little bit leading up to qualifiers, looked to be in disarray. So, not just that, but like they were looking last minute to find like practice and scrims. As apparently they hadn't practiced for a while. So we'll see if Clutch can regain was a fairly wide open current King of SEA title belt, right? I mean, we have RTI qualifiers, but still nobody has really just taken that region by storm.
Oh, looks like they spotted out our little Earthshaker friend Victoria, hiding within those trees, and will earn Clutch Gamers yet another pickoff. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Clutch Gamers were coming in pretty feared from the Southeast Asia region, taking so many qualifiers, but poor showings at lands, lots of visa issues, preventing them from even being in the limelight. I think it's about time you kick it into high gear and realize, take advantage of these kind of opportunities now. Now you're down 3 games. Let's really turn it up.
Blood Rage, Mask of Madness, Bloodseeker. You do not want this guy getting jumped.
Jumped and then chronoed, and then he just gets batted down and killed right away.
Does have friends around that.
I don't know. Something seems to be happening. When you get a couple of wins, you start doing some funny stuff.
Yeah, this may just be his build that he likes to go for in pubs and when he plays in competitive, and it's worked for him. So sometimes players will have their own unique builds for a hero. And Jack and I mentioned Bloodseeker's got a lot of different viable builds.
All right, smoke move in from Clutch now. They've got Gabby's Chrono good to go, and the Death Ward. The classic combo, gentlemen. The ward, of course, which must be placed outside the Chrono. Here we go.
Just missing the chain frost, really.
Yao is down. All right, well, they'll settle for a measly little disruptor support. Not a juicy target that they would like, but acceptable. And I was going to say, Boombox here is also scouting out some more information. The team has not gone too far, and they're actually coming right back in once again. It looked like Clutch were thinking about more ganking opportunities, but... So is LGD just kind of avoiding fights altogether for this moment until they kind of just scale into more relevance with the Storm Spirit and the Bristleback and such?
Feels that way. I mean, this Bloodseeker cannot team fight at all. He is so incredibly squishy. He can find pickoffs and kind of play around his team, but he doesn't want to run in. I feel like the purpose of this Bloodseeker Bristle is to run in to set up kills for the Storm, but you've got this incredibly squishy Bloodseeker build that doesn't really mesh with that strategy. So we'll see how they work around that, but it does feel like they're going to have to just farm for a bit. 11 at least has some good farm with the Hood Vanguard, so he can kind of front line.
Ooh, almost tried to get a dust catch onto this Ricky, but he is just out of vision. They've had that sentry up on the high ground. Oh, he jumps in. Two-man smoke screen. Follow-up is coming in from Clutch Gamers. They're trying to drop down the stack storm while Victoria hops out with the Echo. Connects onto two with the follow-up fissure play on the other side. Boombox will get finished off under the tower. Gabby moves in with a chrono. Helps them get the finish follow-up onto Victoria, making it a two-man advantage for Clutch Gamers. At the moment, Armel with the double. Cleaning up in the back end of the EMP play. They move in now and surround the Bristle, but here comes Maybe. Looking to clean things up now. Moves in, gets the first kill on the Witch Doctor. Tornado's going to be there, though, and now it's all on Maybe to try to survive, but he's going to be low on mana. He pumps out some more and is going to be able to get the jump away. He will be the only survivor from this fight. Sunstrike, did they catch him? Woo! Just next to him.
So close.
Damn.
Whew. That's the Clutch Gamers we're kind of used to seeing, right? Just they're keeping the pace very quick here and just pressuring at towers at every juncture. Really enjoying watching this one compared to some of the games we had before.
Yeah, EG and OG. Yeah, it's Clutch Gamers who know how to play. No, but they definitely are bringing more of a fresh, spicier approach to the early mid game, and LGD are coming off those type of matchups against OG and EG and such, and maybe if just we're going against more of a disciplined, stone cut early game, whereas Clutch are just, butterflies running around the map.
ICA teams have a track record of upsetting teams who play too slow pace and methodically and farm oriented. It's been the case in the past with teams like OG, among others.
I do fear for Clutch, though, when they start hitting that brake pedal a bit. I don't think this is a team that you want to slow down against.
Yeah. Their late game's still very potent. Their teamfight with Void Invoker is going to scale very well into the late game. We'll just see. And I think actually, if anything, their heroes scale better than the Bloodseeker. I don't think scales well at all. He's not particularly farmed. He's going to build that's not going to allow him to scale well.
Yeah, I think I just get more nervous about Clutch's late game decision making, mid to late game decision making here. They definitely have the opportunities to be crazy in the early game, but okay, now we have LGD though. Already beginning to make their move into the mid game. It starts with an early smoke move, pick off, and just on the Witch Doctor here, kind of just is in the right position to kind of tank the approach for the rest of his team.
See if they can get a tower off of it.
Yeah, +1 objective follow-up would be nice.
Uh-oh. It's being found.
Yeah, Ame is being stalked. He actually just hit his Mask of Madness here. If the team was a bit closer, they could take advantage of this, but it looks like Ame's already heading out. Still stalking a bit, though. It's going to be Boombox. Here comes Rappy. Oh, look at the rotations also coming in, though, from LGD's side. They're the ones rolling in. They've already made their move, and they're going to get it. That's the Bloodseeker going down. Maybe steps in towards the shrine, gets the jump in. Victoria walking in with the dunk will help them get the finish onto the Sand King. The follow-up pullback for Ricky is there. They'll wait for the Tricks of the Shade to conclude, and they'll get it done. Meanwhile, they get the follow-up pick-off onto 11 from Armel's side.
Again, this Witch Doctor's there with the Maledict, just helping his team out.
Didn't even use the Death Ward, it looks like.
It's been a Maledicted machine so far, but yeah, LGD will shrine up, and definitely kind of agreeing with your general sentiment that the longer this game goes, definitely LGD, a team that can kind of maybe outclass Clutch Gamers with that late game decision making. So we'll definitely want to see Clutch Gamers maintain this level of aggression.
Yeah, definitely want to keep getting in the face of LGD and just making them uncomfortable. LGD just seem like a team that, if you get them in a situation where they are used to just going through these motions and rhythms and stuff, they just perform very, very well. And Clutch need to just mix it up a bit, get them into an uncomfortable position where they have to kind of rely on each other on what to do. But here LGD as a team are able to migrate all the way up through the river and towards Roche's neighborhood. Ame's already inside the pit, you know, working his way through him, but it's tough. He's gonna need 11 there to help soak up the damage a bit. For them, Clutch Gamers not around. Ricky's not near the pit right now, but it's probably for his best interest. It's no surprise that LGD are gonna have sentry wards ready just in case.
This is problematic. You gotta maybe storm with 15 Bloodstone charges. And they'll get Roshan. So an Aegis to protect those 15 Bloodstone charges. This Storm Spirit is going to be a huge threat for them. Clutch get just a tier 2 out of it in exchange. I think ultimately that's okay, but not great. Like they're going to have, anytime they approach a team fight now, they can kind of kill that Bloodseeker, that Bristle, but this Storm is always going to trade kills for kills, given his mobility.
Jack, what do you think about the second item here for Bloodseeker in the BKB? When you got the Mask of Madness, you're like, he's just YOLO, he's just in. But then BKB almost feels like the opposite side of the spectrum. That suddenly he's like, oh, I went too far in, now I need protection.
I think it's, I mean, yeah, like, it does help him stay alive a bit longer, obviously, if there's some spells, but it's still a kind of a, I'm charging in, and in these 10 seconds, you know, things are, either I'm going to end up dead, or they're going to end up dead. So...
It's a Bloodseeker.
Hopefully it's them and not me.
It's Bloodseeker's dream, you know? You'll live on the edge. But
yeah,
we'll see how that goes.
Boombox, as we see, for his own personal item progression, is trying to get a quick defusal on that Ricky.
He's been scanning everything this game. He's been crucial for the Vision game. Chrono bottom.
Whoa, down and below. Chrono, Sunstrike combo will help get the takedown of the Earthshaker. Disruptor taken down just before that. Maybe moving in. Trying to get a bit of redemption, but quite can't get the catch onto the Invoker, so he's going to be able to make it away. Gabby on this side also TP's out. Can the Witch Doctor at least be taken down? Yes. But LGD, man, struggling to get these picks.
They're meant to always be able to trade kills with this Storm, but the Ghost Walk away and Invoker wasn't low enough to give vision to the Bloodseeker's Thirst, so they weren't able to keep tabs of him, because that Invoker trade would have made that fine for LGD. They still do get a kill and a Bloodstone charge, so maybe Storm continues to snowball and now has an Orchid, which this Invoker will not have an answer for a little bit.
It's actually double defusal on the side of Clutch.
Okay.
Why do they need so much defusal?
It's just, it's not like an item that you care about stacking. It's like just a good item on Ricky and it's a good item on Void.
Yeah.
It's damage output. But the actual defusal effect is not really doing much this game. It's going to slow people down, help kill a Bristle maybe, so he doesn't kite you and run away from you as much.
Alright, here we go. LGD, smoke, it gets pinged right away, because they did it right under a ward.
Yep, nice ward. They have sentries like all over, just not mid apparently.
Alright, Clutch, if you somehow get caught by the smoke, this one's on you, I'm just saying. They run all the way up to the top lane, avoid the approach of LGD. And we'll see what LGD can at least do with this. You know, getting some wards down in the jungle could at least make up for it a bit, or I guess clearing out their camps will do.
You're going to poke his nose in, see what he can find. We'll pop the smoke, actually.
Yep, but they pop a dust, which doesn't look like, okay, he makes it to the other side. Not too much trouble. And maybe says, let's push the mid lane a bit. No, they're drawing out a line all the way to the bottom lane instead. It's kind of weird to feel out exactly what objectively LGD are trying to do right now. I mean, are they kind of satisfied with their growth at the moment? I mean, I'm looking at them and they seem pretty stacked. Oh, they're looking like they want to fight, actually. Maybe just jumps right in the mid lane, right between three. Pops the dust, gets hit with the smoke screen. There's a Tricks of the Trade. The Coconut's also going to be there. And he frantically jumps out the other side. Over on this front, he gets near what looks like a Sunstrike, hides within the trees. He's dead. And that's going to be the Aegis now. But a Chrono comes out. Nice combo, and that's going to be the end of the Bloodseeker. Now maybe coming in with round number 2. Gets the grab and the pullback. Witch Doctor's the first one to go down, and then the Sand King. Jumps up to the high ground here. Boombox in the Faceless Void. Both squaring it out, but here we go. 11 and Victoria moving in. The dunk, not the biggest of effect, but they have done enough. I can't tell what the hell is actually happening, guys, if I'm being honest with you, but I am guessing as best as I can here. Looks like Armel, very low on mana, is stuck within the trees here and has to just find his path the hell out of this fight. And it looks like the first time in quite a while, LGD getting the upper hand.
Yeah, witnessing a Sumail-esque Storm Spirit performance right now. Maybe is just going unchecked in these fights.
The franchise player, one of the many M gods, builds the team around him, and he clearly has a lot of that same mechanical expertise that made him such a great player.
That was one of the occasions where Witch Doctor's boldness and aggression kind of backfired. He was running in first, leading the fight. He's like, let's go, let's get this Storm Aegis, but he does that, but then there's no real escape for him, and I think he did need a position further back for that fight. You don't want to be initiating as a Witch Doctor.
And they did get the Bloodseeker down. I mean, or if you look at the other side of it, I mean, that was LGD getting a lot done with the Bloodseeker really doing nothing. Like.
That's the thing. You look at the Bloodseeker and the Bristle, their score lines, they both died 6 times. Bloodseeker's got a few more kills. Bristle's 1, 6, and 6, 4, 6, and 4 on the Bloodseeker, but these heroes have enabled maybe Storm.
This is maybe with these guys kind of hanging around.
They can eat some spells. You know, your job is done.
So LGD now feeling a bit more confident, strut their stuff all the way up to the top of the map and begin to move in for some remaining Tier 2 action. We look to the side of Clutch Gamers to see what new options are going to be there for them. Ags en route here for your Sand King. Obviously your Invoker has got some of his essentials together with a new fresh BKB in 10 seconds. And then after that, he's going to be moving into another defensive pickup, and it looks like the Lincoln Sphere. Which is obviously going to be necessary. Jumping Storm Spirit with your Orchid. And lots of stuns, and Blood Rights and stuff. You will need all the defense you can get.
Yeah, for sure. Storm seems to want a BKB of his own as well. Needs a way out of that smoke cloud. And also just means he can kind of engage in and not have to worry about getting burrowed. Maledicted.
Time dilation.
Yeah.
Super annoying.
There's some obnoxious stuff to deal with. We'll see how both teams play around the next Roche. That's going to be kind of the key thing. If Storm can get another Aegis, like you're in trouble if you're Clutch Gamers. They've maintained a pretty respectable gold lead, but they haven't been able to turn that gold lead into any objectives, and it's been LGD who have like momentum in their court.
Here we go. Big time for Clutch Gamers. They have now popped their smoke. They're moving in right away. They're going to get Ame. They've got Ame before, though. That's fine. Clutch Gamers need more.
Ame will rise again.
They need more.
His thirst for blood cannot be quenched so easily.
Gabby goes in for the Chrono. It's only going to be on Disruptor, so they'll make it a twofer.
I like your optimism about this Bloodseeker, Jack. He'll come back and rise again. Just in my mind, he'll rise again just to feed again. That's what I'm seeing here. He is not being all too impactful this game. I think he has enabled this Storm, but at the same time, you don't really want your carry to be this sacrificial by nature.
Our Bristle friend here is trying to fend off the pressure coming in from Clutch Gamers at the moment, who are trying to finally, make some +1s happen. But okay, here comes Maybe. He's looking to play. Hits it in hard. They are going to be quickly losing Victoria, though. Our Clutch Gamers getting the better end of this fight. It looks like it. There we go. Time dilation's already out. 11. Slowly down, but look at Ame running into action. Trying to get the chop off onto Gabby, but here we go. Epicenter. Burrow flies in. Maybe. Ends up going down. It's all Clutch Gamers on this one.
Damn. What a fight.
And Yao's the only survivor, but not for long. A 5-man wipe. This one going to Clutch. Man, I wish I could see...
Storm coming back. Can he get anyone? Ooh. He's not going to go for it. He doesn't want to feed again. How much damage did some of these heroes do? I feel like Witch Doctor did... Oh, he only did 1.2k. He got a Maledict off at the end, which was nice.
Lots by Storm on that jump in.
damage? Holy cow, that's huge. Boombox.
I'm assuming that was a lot of his tricks of the trade. Man, it's hard to see when
Yeah.
the fights break out, but I was just like, Storm shows up and all of a sudden, boom! Epi goes off and...
I think they're caught a little bit by surprise by the Storm's BKB, but at the same time, LGD pushed that fight, forced it too much because they had the BKB. They played right into like the team fight combo of Clutch Gamers. Even though the Storm doesn't die and did some good damage during it, he wasn't able to actually finish off enough key heroes. Well, seems we are good luck for the teams who haven't won games, at least so far.
Don't speak so soon here. With 10K up.
Yeah.
Clutch Gamers. I'm still not convinced about the assertiveness of the objectives that they got to get. They got some good ones there, but I guess for me to be a believer, I got to see more here from Clutch.
Yeah. Next Roche. If they get next Roche, I'll be probably feeling good about this game. On the LGD side, if they get it, then it's like, okay, game on. You know, a Storm with an Aegis, cheese. Suddenly this game is kind of 50-50.
Obviously, LGD watching it close, which they should be. 10 seconds, it will be back up. Boombox already walks himself inside the pit. He was pinged. As there is that, oh, they dusted him too. He goes to the other side. 11's already spotted. They pre-dusted. And it looks like he's going to go for the ult. EMP. Suddenly Bristle has normal mana.
He's played, baits out some spells. And
okay.
so Roche back up, as scouted by LGD.
We're going to be doing a bit of a standoff, I'd imagine, here. But all the lanes are favoring Clutch right now. Most of the lanes. Mid lane pushing pretty deep, and the same goes for the bottom. LGD are going to have to step back and deal with it a bit, but I don't think Clutch Gamers have a lineup that could do Roche in this kind of a time window. I don't know. We'll see.
I got that gem now on the Storm, so they can at least not get kited around or messed with too much by the Riki.
Do they have the damage for this?
Yeah, they do. It's just a matter of how quickly can they do it, and will LGD come in time.
I don't know if they can do it fast enough. I guess they will. Oh, LGD.
Smoke comes.
Smoke, they're heading that way now. Oh, the timing is just going to be that sweet spot, guys. It is just that moment. That moment when 11 can just walk into the pit. And Armel will pick it up. Okay. But now LGD, have they committed too much going towards the pit that they're going to be forced into a fighting situation here? It's a fight spread on both fronts here. 11 on one end trying to run his way out, where Ame is chunking in the other. Gabby's going to be able to catch him under the Chronosphere. Maybe runs right over that Chrono to the other side and helps get in the pop, not on one, but two. As both Sand King and Witch Doctor will go down. Armel gets the follow-up onto Ame, and he's looking to go for more as the 11 Bristleback will also get dropped to the high ground. Gabby goes the chase for maybe, but he's got a BKB, and he jumps all the way back home. And I don't know if maybe alone is going to be able to do this one anymore. Clutch Gamers have suddenly taken over.
Not too shabby. We talked about that next Roche is going to be the key point for them. If they can secure that, they've definitely set themselves up to take the win. This game is now in their hands. It's going to be, if they play this the right way to close it out, they should win this game now. BKBs are getting shorter and shorter on the Radiant side. Their late game team fight with Invoker and Void Chrono is definitely not to be reckoned with, and they're approaching some of those key level 25s as well. Invoker's got his Octarine, he's just level 24 now. This is definitely Clutch's game to lose.
We'll probably see a bit more split action coming out from LGD in particular, maybe, I guess, if possible. Trying to stall things out a bit, but I don't even know what's plan B right now if you're LGD, and is it still just more about the maybe show? Because I'm looking at the Bloodseeker, and you know, he's hoping to get an Axe, but that seems to be quite a distance away.
This Bristle Bloodseeker just don't match up against like an Invoker in the late game, because he just sits back, dishes out so much damage onto them. Even when you BKB, he's just gonna kind of kite you around. He can even right-click through your BKBs with Forge Spirit's Alacrity.
It's a lot. I mean, is it almost just, do you just call it greedy at that point for LGD, having a Storm and a Bristle and a Bloodseeker? I mean, all of them need a decent amount of farm.
Yeah, I'm personally thinking this Bloodseeker should have gone like a tankier build early on. This Mask of Madness Rush could have been like a Blade Mail. Or something a bit different maybe, but it's feeling like they didn't get enough down. Like, I mean, they kind of took over a bit with that first Storm Aegis, but Teamfight is just not in their court.
And I've been liking the Ricky pick for Clutch. I feel like it's got them some good intel in the early game. And I haven't seen him punished a lot this game at all.
7-4 and 18. I talked about Witch Doctor being the early game MVP. I actually think since that early game, it's been the Ricky. His scouting and the teamfight damage output. We saw at the end of that one big fight, he did the most damage of his entire team. He's offering a lot in all these scenarios.
I almost forgot even before that. Yeah, it was the Witch Doctor phase, and that's a big moment too. Even though that feels so long ago and such like a small part of the game, you know, when you're buckling the other team and that early in the laning phase, it could be it could definitely break your spirit.
Kind of fallen off since then, but that's nature of playing a 5-position Witch Doctor. You're such an easy free kill for a Storm that you'll often just get focused because you want to take those free easy kills.
Looks back into that silence. Not too bad. They tried to lock him in with the kinetic field. A cute attempt from LGD, but can't get quite a hold of Armel. Would love to get an easy way to pick off that first life if possible.
Almost there, Invoker. It's level 25. Bring that Midas out.
So close. But yeah, I just want to risk swapping the Midas for any of these other sweet items here. He's going to be able to try to do it with the Tornado, though. One more creep. Get away from my creep. Let me get all the XP. He tried to leap away from the creep.
Temporarily, replace that Axe for 10 seconds. You'll be fine.
Nothing will break out. Surely there'll be no fight. Your teammate's not inside their base right now, Boombox.
Oh, jeez, where he is.
They actually have a sentry over on the other side of the trees too, waiting for it. This Tornado EMP will catch onto 11. That has been a problem the whole game, is that he's had no mana, then time dilation. Oh, did they see him within the trees?
He had a gem.
And on the other side, whoa, commitments in deep. They get the finish on Disruptor with the help of that Chrono. On the other front, the pullback grab and the finish. They will get a hold of Boombox, and now maybe looking to go in. Sees Rappy. Yules is there, though. Follow-up Fisher. Now the follow-up jumping once again, but Rappy's going to be able to make it a high ground. 3-man dunk comes out from Victoria, though, onto Clutch. Clutch, though, not the heaviest of damage. Are going to be able to step off a bit. They turn their focus onto 11 and easily shred apart the Piggy. Maybe's there, getting Bash locked in. We'll jump inside the base for a bit of safety. Clutch Gamers winning these trades. Now can heal up. Oh, sweet, delicious cheese. They're going to get gobbled up there from the Invoker. And now they can go in for round number 2. Victoria going to be losing his mana. EMP combos there. Sunstrike also will help get the finish. And it looks like Clutch Gamers are on the verge of getting their first win at Mars and giving LGD their first loss. It's funny how tournaments work out like that. Long jump in, though, from Maybe. This could be the final hurrah coming out from LGD. Double jump in, sees the focus for Armel. Can they finally get it down? Yes! Voker finally dealt with. Gabby, the pullback's there. Storm's waiting for the time dilation, though, to wear off. It finally is, and then there's going to be the Yules. Gabby looking to go in, wants to get a hold of Yao with the back end of his BKB. Will get the finish on Disruptor and tries to valiantly time walk up north. Can they finally get him? There. Finally get him down. 3 times kill streak, going to be handed over. And we're not done yet. Ame trying to run into the action, finds himself under the Ricky. Huge multi-man burrow strike comes out from Rappy to help out and get in the finish of Ame. But then he drops right after that.
Okay, they're not in the clear yet. They didn't actually. Okay, they didn't get a Rex out of that. Well, I mean, big Invoker streak was ended.
Now we factor in all these freaking kills at the end. I don't really know who it favors anymore. It kind of feels nice for LGD.
Yeah, back to 18 charges on maybe Storm. Like, I don't know. They kind of got a bit too gung-ho at the end of that. Like, they had all these extra lives on Invoker with Aegis, the cheese.
Well, LGD, as they say, you know, LGD in Chinese, the pun for it is "come high ground" like OD, and they obliged right there, known as, defending the Great Wall. Got a little bit overzealous. They overstayed their welcome with their ults down, and LGD were able to pick up some crucial kills there. So, we've had a lot of these kind of back and forth games. We think one team has an edge, and as soon as we say that, the next bad fight goes against them, and suddenly it just totally flip-flops.
40 to 26 and a 12K advantage. I mean, if you're just tuning in, you would be confident that this game is Clutch Gamers, but we'll see. LGD,
The case.
not the case at the moment. LGD get that hold. I mean, they had to expend Maybe's buyback for that, right? Yeah, I think so.
No, he
Oh, they didn't? I could have sworn I heard buyback.
he just lived through it all, I think.
All right.
The Disruptor bought back. That's who bought back.
Oh, that's what I heard. Okay.
So he got solo Chrono. That's where that fight went horribly wrong. He BKB'd and Chrono'd a Disruptor. I imagine he was eyeing off someone else who narrowly got missed, or maybe a Storm zipped out, or an Earthshaker blinked away. Because you're definitely not intending to solo Chrono a Disruptor. That's where the fight initially is lost. Then at the end, he BKBs to kill a Disruptor, and he could have BKB TP'd out, and instead he just kills a support and dies. Like, I think Gabby making a few misplays there, but ultimately this is one of those, like, again, these super aggressive YOLO type games, that's where the mistakes kind of slip out, because you get this mindset where you're just always fighting and want to use your spells.
Yeah.
He's getting a lot of farm though. He's got that 120 GPM talent. Now has the extra time walk cast range, so he's got some long range initiation now.
Wow. Let me see how big this thing is. Oh, that's pretty neato.
It's blink dagger range. It's pretty sweet.
So it's basically back to the former, back to the old time walk.
Was it really that big though? I can't remember.
I think it was like 1300 something. It was
Okay.
pretty long.
Oh, and it's scaled.
Oh, can they burst down the
God.
void? They're moving in. Long jump from Maybe, and with the dunk
Oh,
follow-up, they will
silence
be able to
too.
get him down. But that Static Storm locking him within the place, and LGD holding their home once again. It's frantic Clutch Gamers as they try to make it out in a way. Maybe, though, on the chase, not letting any man survive. He wants to get a hold of Armel, too. The only man surviving on this one. He's running out, and the Magician has made it away. But holy crap, LGD just
Dang.
smacked them down.
Got that void. You talk about the late game of Clutch Gamers being the superior of the two, but they've got to get off the Chrono for it to be superior. And just a bold play from Victoria sets up a good team fight. Victoria's been pretty quiet on the Airshake. I feel like we haven't seen many crazy Echo Slams. There was one nice 3-man one earlier on, but that's the biggest play he's made all game. That Echo there, bursting down a void, all thanks to him. He is coming up big.
Here comes LGD pressuring down this mid lane, but we do have split pressure coming in from Armel, but he's already TPing back home, it looks like.
Can't just waltz on up to the high ground like that. A couple of heroes that you have to be very careful about if you're Clutch Gamers.
Almost forced out. 11 will be a little bit low in mana, but they're beginning to go to work onto this tier 3. Earthshaker is back at home. They're going to get the tier 3 down.
They look to jump if possible.
But already LGD are heading their way out. Looking to pursue. Burrow doesn't find 11. The Tornado will. Actually, Tornado finds a lot of targets here. Bristle decides to pop his BKB. The rest of the team, though, is not looking for this fight. So this is a BKB to simply walk out. But there's the follow-up Burrow. Man, he's connecting with lots of people on these Tornadoes, whether he means it or not. He just froze my game with this Tornado, guys. Oh my God, what is happening? Okay, there we go. He's back, and he's dead. Another Tornado again. Holy moly!
Armel is on point with them. The mid lane Storm wants to jump in.
All right, there it is. A hard hit in. Sand King, who set up all these fights, does end up getting dropped right there. They get the follow-up takedown of Boombox inside. Now jump from Void. Gets down the Chrono. The Meatball's going to get committed, but they can't get the finish on Maybe. Maybe still lives on. He goes back in, gets the finish on the Invoker instead, and now the focus is on Gabby, and it's going to be LGD's game. It happened. Oh, Clutch Gamers. Not able to pull it out in the end, it looks like here, and LGD are just they're taking over now.
They look to have an unassailable position in this game just 5 minutes ago. Going on to high ground, and then just a couple of mistakes, just giving that slightest opening of the door for LGD onto the high ground, and here we have back in this game state.
It was a 15k gold lead, Cheese, Aegis, late game ultis to play around, and they got jumped. They fed away the Aegis, a solo BKB Chrono and Disruptor. I feel like Armel's doing all he can. He's played a sick Invoker this game, but Sand King's dying too quickly and easily to this Storm. I feel like he needs another. This Axe is kind of nice, but he feels like he needed a defensive item. A Force, a Lincoln's, a Lotus Orb, something to get rid of this Silence. I mean, he's got the Yules, but he wants to maybe use that as a setup.
And now for the first time in this game, LGD will be taking that worth advantage after this takedown of Rax.
Can't get any other lanes with 2-2 towers up, but I mean, they don't really care. Aegis, G's, everything they could hope for. Storm's kind of 6-slotted at the moment, doesn't even have his boots because he wants to carry the gem Aegis.
Alright, what do you... Okay, so Void comes back. I mean, do you go into desperation mode? Is it too soon to call desperation mode? We're almost on par as far as, you know, base damage for each side, but...
I think you've just got to calm down if you're Clutch gamers. You haven't lost this game. Like,
Okay.
Other than, like, think about, like, the momentum, who's winning the recent fights. If you just saw the state of this game right now, it's pretty much dead even on gold. Okay, LGD's up 1 lane of racks, but you're kind of at that point of the game. 46 minutes in, 1 lane of racks doesn't mean all too much. And in terms of lineup composition, their lineup is definitely capable of winning late game. They've got a farm Sand with an Ags, they've got a Void, who's very farmed, an Invoker, who's 6-slotted. They do match up in the late game. It's just a matter of execution. The big impending issue is this Aegis, though. They've got to kill Storm twice, and that is likely impossible. Fly solo.
Yeah, if you commit to expending a big cooldown on the Aegis, then you won't have it for the rest of the fight. We've seen another nice pick off there, combo
But
with
it left Bristle alone.
Yes, the Bristle's alone. But does he care? He's popped his BKB, and now he's running Clutch right back inside their own base. All right. Well, 11 is going to be BKB less for a little bit. But as LGD make their approach, Clutch gamers get themselves back inside where it's safe. But a lot of tools here available to them. They have Victoria waiting in the wings with a Blink Dunk. Yao has got a Force Staff ready and Static Storm. There's the Blink and Dunk right on top of the head of that Void, and now Gabby's gone. Gabby's going to need to buy back. They want to pull out a defense here, it looks like, and there it is. Jump in for the Ricky, but he's able to kind of get the ulti off. Send out the other side. Ame very low, though. They're looking to go for the finish. They will get it there. Clutch hold on to that one, and it looks like they'll also finish off the Bristle, too. Cost them a buyback, but they hold this set of racks.
Okay. No Bloodseeker bio, and that's... Seems like we're kind of seeing this big issue where if Void gets jumped, they lose the fight. They need some way to save him, be it Force Staffs, Lotus Orbs. They've got no defensive items on any of their supports. They've got the Glimmer Cape, but that doesn't help against the gem, and I feel like they needed either Lotus or Force Staff, any combination of these two items to actually help out the Void when he gets jumped. He's getting silenced. I mean, it's not even about the silence because he has BKB, but he just needs something to protect him. He's always getting jumped rather than being the one to initiate himself, and they are going to go all in. They smoke up. They want to take a fight, force the high ground here. Problem is this Storm, as mentioned earlier, does have 2 lives to play around.
Yes, he does. And a buyback, too, I would imagine.
They see Ricky
as well, so 3 lives you'd probably have to work through if you want to take this game, Clutch, on that Storm Spirit. Buyback there from the Bristle. Our Clutch going to second guess their approach here.
probably should, given the Aegis and the Bloodseeker about to respawn. But we'll see. They may just feel desperate.
Yeah, Ward War a bit. Now the hard commitment in, but insta BKB pops. He doesn't go in for the Chrono, but they're able to spread away. Now commits him with the Chrono, catches onto the Bristle and onto the Storm. He decides to target the Bristle. Victoria jumps over the Chrono bubble, hits him up with the Echo on one front, while it's going to be Gabby and Rappy moving in for 11 here. Who's getting the harder hit of the damage right now? Gabby going back out, looking to get a hold of Maybe, but Maybe puts all of his focus onto Armel, looking to get a hold of that Invoker. Now Maybe runs out of mana and cannot continue his chase. Clutch Gamers, though, lose 2. Both of them going to get eaten up from the Bloodseeker. And Clutch will have to move on to another day before they can give it another go.
Storm's about to get his Aegis expired, but that also is fine for him because he's going to get all that mana back and can complete his 6-item, the Scythe of Vice now. Things continue to look good for LGD. Their high ground defense, their execution of team fights is just far superior now. They're always the one jumping, initiating in, and that is not how Clutch Gamers want to see these fights go down.
Yeah, and the key's kind of been they're not like showing their hand immediately when the fight starts. Like it feels like Clutch is either positioned together or they kind of overcommit and then they show their hand very quickly in the fights. And LGD are kind of picking their spots to come in and enter the fight with their blanks, obviously with their disable. So that's something that's like a detail that Clutch definitely needs to work on. And if they end up dropping this game to this comeback, man, that's got to be fairly tilty, right? To have this big of a lead, an edge, and allow LGD to come
Yes,
back.
Jack. Surely they will probably go back to the locker room and be very upset about it. No, it is. I mean, I felt like at the first quarter, at least of the game, we were seeing Clutch play the game that we've used to see them play, like whether it be land nerves or not. I don't know why it takes 3 losses down to be like, let's just go for it, let's just do our thing, but. I hope that they take that with them into the rest of the games from this event. This one's not over yet, though. Clutch Gamers, they get one, maybe, miracle of a grab from LGD. One bit of an overthrow.
They're ahead on gold.
Oh, they're going to be on high ground here.
Well,
LGD will be. Oh, jump in. Burrow. They caught Ame. Sunstrike's also there. He tries to get off the BKB, but the Chrono's already on its mark. It catches in 2 of his own team, including the Invoker, which means he's going to get killed with a Sonic Storm and a dunk! See you later, Invoker. Oh, that was just not the cards for Clutch Gamers at that moment. They're going to lose Fly Solo as well. This one belongs to LGD. Oh, that's unfortunate.
There's just this like aura of panic around the Clutch Gamers initiations. Like you see LGD, every time they initiate, be it a Blink Echo or a Storm Ball in, there's a sense of purpose and they're jumping a target. It feels like Void is panicking, but more so than panicking, he's going in blind. Like they don't have vision. He feels pressured to make a big play to come with initiation, but he's not doing so in a calculated way. He's doing so in a very high risk, low percentage way. Like it's like, well, I don't see him, but if I manage to catch like 2 or 3 with a really sick chrono for my Invoker to dump spells into, we might win this fight. So he's just like, he's YOLOing in, and that's, as a Void in the late game, you can't YOLO your chronos.
Dude, with a great chrono comes great responsibility. Yeah. For sure.
So
you have your team that you could potentially be locking down with it too. It's a lot. So
it's a big creep wave top that was pinged out. This could be problematic.
This is a 4-5 range creep 2 catapult push here, Parker. That's a monster neutral push. That's actually, that got the tier 3.
This is actually pretty formidable.
He canceled
LGD, run back! Yeah. Help this!
They can defend high ground against the other team, but not against these creeps.
These creeps have done more into the base than Clutch has, for sure. That is ridiculous.
That was a tornado canceling Bristle's TP on the way out. That was, yeah. Have fun with that. Clutch could take some shrines. Not that. Oh, they already could. They already took the tier 3 bottom, but Roche being pinged, a Storm Aegis would be a
double damage too. Bloodseeker, I like it.
I love that. Maybe has held on to the gem this entire game. A lot of Storms would be like, "Hey team, I'm 6-slotted. You take the gem," but Storm is always the one jumping in, looking to clean up those kills, and he's the one who needs the gem more than anyone. Like, Bloodseeker's dying, maybe. He's not really running in. He's throwing Ruptured from afar at this point. It really has to be Storm carrying.
Oh, Dire just got that.
They were leaving it for Bristle, so they didn't want to kill it off because Bristle was coming to pick it up.
That's funny.
They actually stopped hitting Roche, but
yeah,
it'll be fine. Look at it. Storm is 6-slotted. He finally does give up the gem. This is that moment. We'll see if that costs him at all. I think they feel their lead's big enough that Storm not having a gem, if they miss a kill because of it, isn't too big a deal, but what's Ricky up to? Deep observer what's in the enemy base.
It's alright though. The Invoker probably thought he got that Roche with sick time. So his morale is way up right now.
Yeah,
he's feeling super good. Now he's going to have like the best fight ever, and it's all going to be because of that. Let's see. LGD going to do one of their come together smoke, methodical, thought out approaches potentially.
Very likely.
Okay, so Bristle has the extra life this time.
So Void up to. He's got buyback soon. Could go all in on a Butterfly. It's not going to help too much against the Bloodthorn since that gets rid of his evasion. So I'm not sure. I don't think it's worth buying this Butterfly at this point. He does buy it. He's all in. Anyways, see how this works out. And you are in that desperate late game position, but I don't think this item's going to save him, but it may give him enough damage output. He needs to kill heroes in Chrono.
Yeah, and you're hoping to get that Chrono off in your one life, your one fight, your everything.
you can't entirely rely on the Invoker to kill cornered heroes. He wants to do some of that by himself. So.
All right. Clutch Gamers, prepare. They've already got a pre-sentry down. They're hiding within the trees. Victoria on the other side, smoked up, waiting in those back lines. He's got his blink dunk ready. Maybe goes in first to peep. Who's in here?
That's where he doesn't have the gem. So
Let's see boombox close by.
and Victoria's trying to get as close as possible to give some vision.
Simultaneous push pressure coming in through that mid lane too. They're just having to bristle with that extra life, just, you know, be the battering ram for this bottom lane. They'll catch him with a Tornado EMP. He'll lose a worthy chunk of his mana, but now maybe he's going to be showing himself. Jumps in, jumps right back out. They force out the Armel BKB already. Not so good for the Invoker. Tier 3 is just holding on by a thread. It looks like 11 should be able to finish it off. LGD is showing the more structured approach to their sieging. A lot easier, of course, with that Aegis. Oh! Jump in from the void, right into a static storm and an echo. Oh, he's insta-dead. And he's out of this one for 2 minutes without a buyback. It looks like this could be it. LGD going to be pulling together what looks like their unscratched record, pulling it to 4-0 now. All Clutch Gamers are going to be still stuck at the depths.
That jump in, like he was about to have it off, but there's this Earthshaker jumping in with the blink to disrupt and start the combo to kill him. So they're just missing that little bit that they could have potentially turned the fight or made things much harder for LGD.
There it
Missing that bit
goes.
of clutch plays. It's not there.
Maybe shred it all up with the boost coming in from Ame. Just puts the cherry on top, gentlemen. This one belongs to LGD. When you look at that gold graph, you can see that should have been a Clutch Gamers game, it looks like. Oh, they're happy. Good for them.
It's good fitting in. Like a little stamp on that game.
All right.
The comeback is
All
real.
right. Let's reflect all the way back if we can try now. Clutch Gamers, pretty damn good laning phase. He had a very rambunctious Witch Doctor, which was definitely making a laning impression almost on all of the lanes. So definitely was throwing things off for LGD. Bloodseeker was getting nothing going. He felt very irrelevant. 11 also was falling down in that category. And but what happened? When did things go wrong? When did things turn around?
That bottom high ground push for the most part, Jack. You know, the LGD high ground defense.
When they came to the high ground, when they came to LGD's favorite territory to defend.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they played. This looked like the good Clutch Gamers that we'd seen,
For
right?
sure.
Armel was comboing to pick up these kills and make some plays. The roaming was definitely working out from Boombox. He was a persistent presence everywhere, and even Fly Solo was getting in on that. Like roaming, not necessarily together as supports, but they were getting stuff done. And then when it came time to finish the game, again, maybe a bit carelessness, maybe getting a bit cocky with how far ahead they were and how desperate LGD's position seemed. Just those two fights, and all of a sudden you're in the back seat, or you're not in control of the game anymore, and that's really all it took here.
Yeah, Gabby's Void definitely underperformed. I think that's probably the one thing that kind of stood out to me. He didn't deal damage in the fights. He was always relying on like an Invoker to dish out damage on the corners, and then he couldn't hit those big like corners. It's tough because the other team has the Earthshaker, the Ag Static Storm on Yao to worry about, so there's definitely a lot of pressure on him to execute it. And he couldn't deliver this game, unfortunately, in the late game. But really solid defending from LGD. Got to give hats off to those guys.
They're looking like the big boys on the block.
Maybe he's such a scary player.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this guy, I don't know. I feel like there is no mid in China who can do what he does. Like he just reminds me so much of Sumail and his play style and how you should build a team around him.
Yeah, he's great mechanically. He has a good sense of like when to come to fights. Like he always seems to be there at the right time. You don't want to sit back too much. Like maybe some players who are really good in that cleanup position, say like an SECC. Maybe they're not as aggressive early on when they could be. Maybe seems to find all the right windows for that. He's got a diverse hero pool. That's always been the case for him. They've been playing him on Mirana, a lot of different heroes from Venomancer to Mirana, anything that you can throw him on, which helps you for the draft, as you mentioned. Like especially if you're building the team around the guy. I mean, you can see why he's entrusted with so much, such high status and responsibility on this team. And then you give him like the slightest opening and you know, he comes back, he does exactly what he needs to.
All right, well, thank you so much, gentlemen. It looks like we are going to cut to a break and get into our final heat of the day, right? Did I count that properly?
That is right.
Final heat of the day, and it's going to be IG versus LFY. Oh, good. We get some burning Dota action in to close things out. So, should be a good one. That's Parker. That's Jack. We'll be back with more MDL action here, brought to you by Beyond the Summit.